Arjun, wherever your mind is at the time of death, whatever you are contemplating when you depart from this body, that is what you shall attain in your next life. So Bharat was thinking of the deer. The consequence was that in his next life, he was born as a deer. However, he was an elevated deer. God allowed him to have spiritual elevation. He remembered the folly of his past life. He realized he had gone so far and lost it. So he said, I have to make amends what to do. He could not do sadhana as a deer. It's the human body that permits sadhana. So he would walk around the ashrams of hermits in the forest, partaking of the divine vibrations, hearing the chanting of the names emanating from their huts. He spent his deer life. And then, at the end of it, when he completed it, God then gave him the human form again. Arjuna had asked Sri Krishna, what happens to a yogi who strives on the path but doesn't complete the journey? Sri Krishna had said, Arjuna, don't you worry, there will be no loss. Whatever you have done, I will note it. And in your next life, I'll permit you to start from there. Shuchinam Srimatange Yoga Bhrashto Bhijayate. So, in accordance with that, now he took birth in a pious Brahmin family where the father and mother were both spiritually inclined. In that environment, he was able to cultivate spiritual wisdom and engage in his mind in remembrance of God. However, when he was yet a youth, his father passed away. Now his brothers and bhabis, they started neglecting him. So, seeing that situation in the household, he decided that what purpose does it serve for me to stay here? He left the home and started roaming around in an avadhut state. Avadhut state means no awareness of the body. So there is a sannyasi. The sannyasi is a person in the renounced ashram who follows codes of conduct. And then there is the avadhut. Avadhut is beyond. No codes apply to the avadhut. It's immaterial whether he wears anything or he doesn't wear anything, or he touches this or he doesn't touch it, etc. In that avadhut state, Bharat was roaming around, and just to ensure that worldly people don't obstruct his sadhana, he started pretending that he is mad. So people gave him the name Jad Bharat when he was not actually mad. You will be astonished to know there are such people. I came across such a person when I had just begun giving lectures after Kripaluji Maharaj had trained me. So a few months later, I was giving lecture in Lucknow in Uttar Pradesh. So at that time, I was all alone and very few people used to attend. So my residence was in the temple where the lecture was going on. And at night, they used to lock me. I used to be inside in the temple. And in the morning when the gates would open, they would come. So there were some beggars on the gate of the temple. They used to spend the night there at the gate. Now, in the morning at 3:30, I would find one of these beggars. He would start praying to Lord Shiva in the most attractive voice, swar and rag. You'll say, my, what an educated beggar he is. Then one day I found that one of the devotees, darshanarthis, insulting him. And he said, I am not a beggar. And then I put two and two together that he is actually a renounced person sitting there and doing his devotion. So that was the manner of life of Jat Bharat. People would think he was mad, but he was an elevated soul. Once he went off into the forest. Out there were some dacoits. These dacoits used to offer sacrifice to Mother Kali and then go for their dacoity. You see, Sri Krishna says there is Shraddha, faith in the mode of ignorance, mode of passion, mode of goodness. There's devotion in the mode of ignorance. That was the kind of devotion of these dacoits. They would offer a sacrifice. So they had got a priest. On this day they wanted to offer a human sacrifice. And they did not find anybody else. They found this Jat Bharat. They said, he is hale and hearty, hatta katta. They grabbed him and brought him there. So when the sacrifice was about to be offered to Mother Kali, now Mother Kali had been tolerating their nonsense for too long. She said, enough is enough. The deity that they were worshipping, it suddenly split and Mother Kali manifested in her original form. And with her khadak, she started killing all of them. She killed all the dacoits and thereby conveyed to us the message through the Srimad Bhagavatam that this is the grossest of ignorance. If anybody thinks by offering an animal to the Divine Mother, the Mother of the universe is going to be satisfied, there can't be a bigger ignorance than this. The Jat Bharat continued his life as a renounced mendicant. There was a nearby king called Rahugand. Rahugand got this inspiration to imbibe spiritual wisdom. Blessed are we when we receive that inspiration. Not everybody does, but you all did. That is what inspired you to come and spend your Monday evening here. So Rahugand Raja was also likewise inspired. He thought, let me go to Ganga Sagar. There I will meet Maharshi Kapil and get Satsang from him. Now he had his servants accompanying him because he was a Raja. On the way, there was a stream. He had not yet fully given up his royal ways. So a palanquin was needed to take him across. There was one lifter, one kahar less. Rahugand said that go and get somebody. His servants, they found Jat Bharat. They said he is hale and hearty, strong and hefty. Come on. So they put Jat Bharat in line, and Jat Bharat also put his shoulder to the palanquin. Now they had lifted Raja Rahugand and they were walking with him. However, Jat Bharat had his own ways and idiosyncrasy. One of them was that when he would walk, he would look at the ground to see that he doesn't put his foot on any insect. And if he found an insect, he would put his foot this way or this way. So sometimes he would displace his foot to the left, suddenly sometimes to the right. And the result, the palanquin which he was lifting would sometimes tilt this way and sometimes that. But Rahugand was sitting, so his head would sometimes knock this side and sometimes that side. And Rahugand said, what is the matter? Are you all intoxicated? The servant said, Maharaj, it's not our fault. It's the new person we have added who's creating the problems. The Rahugan looked at Jat Bharat. He's so thin and lean and emaciated, that's the problem. The Jat Bharat was neither thin nor lean nor emaciated. But he did not believe himself to be the body, so he didn't feel insulted. Rahugan said, lift it properly. Come on, let's move ahead again. Now again they were going. Jat Bharat refused to change his ways. So again he's shifting his foot here and there. Finally, when this tumbling became too much out of control, Rahugan said, stop, put me down. He then looked at Jat Bharat and said, what is the matter? You are unable to lift this properly. I am going to punish you. At that moment, Jat Bharat responded. He said, O Rajan, you have said that I don't know how to lift this properly. Lifting the palanquin is not my dharma, so what if I am not competent in it? You have said that you will punish me. You don't even know who I am. You are thinking of myself as the body. When you don't know my introduction, how can you punish me? Those words of Jat Bharat, they fell like nectar, sweet and bitter nectar in the ears of Rahugan. He thought, I was going to get satsang from Ganga Sagar, and I am getting satsang right here. He blinked and looked at Jat Bharat again, and he realized that this person had this huge effulgence. He was not an ordinary person. So Rahugan folded his hands. He said, Maharaj, I am not scared of anything in the world. But I am scared of one thing. Doing a transgression at the feet of a holy personality like yourself, who is a veritable form of God. Please tell me who you are and enlighten me on spiritual knowledge. At this point, the Jat Bharat and Rahugan samvad takes place. This is again one of the great samvads of the Bhagavad. Remember, this samvad is being related by whom to whom? Related by Maitreya to Vidur. So Maitreya is now going to tell the samvads. And Maitreya Vidur samvad is being related by Shukadev to Parikshit. And that samvad is being related by Sutaji to Shaunakadik. So we are now with Jat Bharat and Rahugan. The great Jat Bharat, out of his causeless compassion, started expounding on topics of scriptural wisdom before Raja Rahugan, an eager and thirsty listener for divine knowledge. He compared this world to a forest or bhavatavi. Have you ever been to a forest? Of course, most of you have. Have you ever been to a forest at night? It's a very difficult place to be in. There would be danger at every step. That actually is the nature of this world. There is danger at every step. We don't realize it. At any time, disease could hit you. At any time, there could be a financial problem or a natural calamity. Last year, people in Houston were sitting comfortably when all of a sudden Hurricane Harvey came and 300,000 houses got affected. So he says this is the jungle of material existence. Nevertheless, you can cut through this by the grace of the Guru. Rahu ganais tat tapasanayati nachejaya nirvapanad grihadva nachandasa naiva jalagni suryair bina mahatpadarajobhishekam. He says, Rahugan, you do yoga, yagya, jap, tap, vrat, puja. They are all good. But until you get the grace of the dust of the lotus feet of the Guru, they will not suffice. You cannot get release from Maya. So he emphasizes the need for the Guru. And then he also says, Guru na sasyat, swajano na sasyat, pita na sasyat, janani na sasyat, daivam na tatsyan, na patishcha sasyan, na mochayedya samupeta mrityum. A Guru has got no right to be Guru. If he cannot take the disciple across the ocean of life and death, a father has no right to be father, mother has no right to be mother, husband has no right to be husband, the devatas have no right to be devatas if they can't help their wards perfect their lives. So he then bestows the knowledge. What Sri Krishna said in the Gita, Kshetra Kshetragyayor Jnanam, he says the same thing. Knowledge is the distinction between the body and the knower of the body. The difference between the body and the soul, this is the beginning of knowledge. Now each of these samvads, if we go into it, there is unlimited depth. What people don't realize is, one full Upanishad is equal to one little chapter of the Bhagavad in terms of sheer knowledge. And each canto of the Bhagavad has got 25-30 chapters. Justice can never be done to the Bhagavad in 7 days. We are just like going by in the train, seeing a few drishyas. If we were to stop, any one topic could be elaborated for 7 days. So he bestows this knowledge and then he departs from there. Now at this point, the Jad Bharat and Rahugan Samvad comes to an end. And at this point also, the Vidur and Maitreya Samvad comes to an end. Vidur offered his pranams to Maitreya. Maitreya blessed him and Vidur departed from there.